on right now? Okay, that seems okay. All right, we will call the City Council regular meeting to order. It's Tuesday, January 20th, 2026. It is now 7:01 p.m. Would everyone please rise for the invocation given by Councilman Curley, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance?
Oh, our gracious Heavenly Father, we ask that you would, first of all, be with all the people who are not inside tonight. Put your arms around them, dear Lord, and keep them warm. Have them find some place, if they're hungry, to eat. And Lord, we bless this council that tonight's a long meeting, and just give us the patience and the knowledge that we would get through this without any hardships. And we bless all the people here in Eastpointe.
Boards and commissions to the top of the agenda, just so if there's anyone here for that, they don't have to wait through the whole meeting.
So moved.
Support?
Support.
All right, please call the roll.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley?
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld?
Yes.
Councilmember Scott?
Yes.
All right, and we will start off with our presentation from Ms. Frederick. Welcome.
Welcome, Sarah.
Good evening, everyone. All right, it's great to be back for another year. Just want to introduce myself quickly to anyone new here. My name is Sarah Frederick, and I'm the Deputy Director at the Recreation Authority in Roseville in Eastpointe. I visit here at City Council meetings kind of bi-monthly just to give everyone an update of our upcoming events and programs. Last week, we ended up having to cancel our Feed the Dream event on, I believe it was Thursday, due to the lovely snow that we got. So we rescheduled it to this Thursday. So that means everyone can still come to it. Throughout the month of January, we've been collecting non-perishable goods at the Recreation Authority Center and also here at City Hall. And we are hosting a craft event for the community, free for families to attend this Thursday from 4 to 6:30 at the Recreation Authority Center. We have also partnered with Live Right in Roseville for this event, and then Eastpointe's Arts and Cultural Division Commission. Following that event, we have our Black History Month event, Unity and Diversity. That's going to be hosted on Wednesday, February 4th from 6 to 7:30 p.m., also at the Recreation Authority Center. We're going to have some make and take crafts, a vision board to be displayed in the Rec Center lobby. We are working with a company to have a community mural painting to be displayed at the Recreation Authority throughout the month of February as well. So they're coming in to kind of sketch the canvas, and then families and kids can come in and paint and put their own spin on the mural. We are also going to be providing free digital family portraits as well. So if anyone is looking to get a family portrait done and everything, we will be having our staff members take family portraits. We've got a really nice background and everything, so come dressed fancy if you would like one of those. And then from 7 to 7:30, we are going to have spoken word and poetry from community members who would all like to share their work. I just received confirmation too from a local artist. Her and her sister have our local authors who have created a book that they want to share to the community and have a book reading during that time. So again, this is a free event. It's very passive, come and go, but we encourage everyone to attend this event and celebrate Black History Month with us. Next is our Cardboard Box Drive-In movie. The movie is announced. I have it announced soon. We are going to be watching Littlefoot. This is a great event for families during midwinter break during the school, something fun for them to do. This is kind of our, I believe, 4th year hosting. It's going to be on Saturday, February 14th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Rec Authority Center. What we ask is that families bring in a cardboard box for each child, and we provide all the supplies for the kids to decorate the cardboard box as a car to sit in during the movie. So we have them decorate the car in one of our rooms, and then we have them drive over to the large gym to watch the movie. And then we'll provide some movie snacks and goodies. So this one will be $5 for residents and $7 for non-residents. And then just some more upcoming events to look forward to in March. We have our Doggy Spring Egg Hunt on Saturday, March 28th. Our spring egg hunt for adults on Wednesday, March 25th. It's always a big hit. We usually get over 100 people to participate in that event, so that one's super fun. And then our kids' spring egg hunt is Saturday, March 28th. And then lastly, our Spring Craft and Vendor Show will be Saturday, April 11th. We still have vendor applications open, so if you know any local crafters that would like to be a part of that event and sell their goods, we are still accepting those applications. Lastly, we have our new winter newsletter out, the programs that run through January through April. So please be sure to register for those. We've had a few start, but we have a lot starting up at the end of January, early February. I know it's kind of crazy after the holidays to get everyone back in the swing of things, but just want to send a reminder out to register for those programs. And then I wanted to put also a special plug-in about our swim programs. Over the years, both Eastpointe and Roseville residents have expressed their want and need of swim programmings for the community. Our department has worked really hard with the schools to get these programs running. And we have a great crew of lifeguards and water safety instructors to run these programs. We're just not seeing the numbers of the classes filling up. So if you could help us out, spread the word that we are now. Here's my contact information up there if anyone has any questions, but always feel free to contact the Rec Authority and ask for me or anyone else, and we're happy to help.
Thank you very much. Anyone from council have questions?
Thank you,
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, you guys.
as always, yeah, great job.
Thank you.
Kim, did you want to? Yep. All right, and with that, we will open the first hearing of the public. Would anyone wish to be heard? Anyone wish to be heard? Oh, you can hand that to them now.
Hi, Jennifer Nicholas, Eastpointe resident. Last meeting on January 6th, council had closed session. And after the closed session, you came out and Councilwoman Pashadlik made the following motion. I would move that Moses Roses were eligible and met the criteria by December 31st, 2025, and they are eligible for retail license. I don't know if, maybe during your comments or at some portion that you could define the criteria for being eligible for a retail license for marijuana. Back on February 18th of 2025, Mayor Kleinfeld made a motion to amend the language at the end of Section 10 to read, when properly renewed, will be designated as a provisioning center retailer permit, but only if the permit holder of the facility is open and operating by December 31st, 2025. On March 4th, 2025, City Council meeting, Mayor Kleinfeld stated, "I'm not willing to remove the deadline. I think there was a lot of debate whether we would even have a conversion ordinance. If someone is not going to be able to have the medical license in time, that they are able to participate in the licensing process just like everyone else." I really was against it in the beginning, so I feel a firm deadline is fair in this circumstance. So I guess I'm wondering, did Moses Roses have their medical marijuana license by December 31st of 2025? And if so, what date did they receive their medical marijuana license? Have they received all approvals from the building department? Has the city issued them a business license? I see online that they still have unpaid back taxes, property taxes. For 2023, they owe $10,608.83, and for 2024, they owe $40,344.50. Both of these are to the Macomb County Treasurer. It looks like they did pay their 2025 summer tax to the city in the amount of $34,042.53. That was due on September 1st of 2025, and they paid it on January 6th of 2026. So, again, I'm just
You have 30
wondering
seconds.
if Moses Rose's is actually open and operating by December 31st. Every time I've driven past there, they're not open yet. And I guess the bigger question is, why was this discussed in closed session and not openly at a regular portion of the meeting? Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to be heard?
So I'd like an update. What is going on with the investigation with those rabbits that were left in below freezing temperatures during the nativity scene? I contacted the media because when Fox 2 ran the story, there were written statements that they would provide a comment to the media, and no comment has been provided. So, again, I'm going to remind you that the rabbits being kept in below freezing temperatures and the biting wind chill, it not only violates the Michigan anti-cruelty statute, hence its neglect, because there's no adequate shelter, there was no roof, there were no walls, there were no tarps, there was absolutely nothing to protect these rabbits from the elements. For over an hour, wet, heavy snow fell on those rabbits. These are not wild rabbits, these are domestic rabbits. This further violates the Animal Welfare Act that states, in cold weather, shelter must be provided for all rabbits kept outdoors when atmospheric temperatures fall below 40 degrees and rain and snow. Rabbits must have access to shelter that allows them to remain dry during rain or snow. We've got blatant violations going on here. And I want to know why and when are these charges going to be filed? Churches don't get free passes to violate any ordinance, any state or federal law. If you want further information on this, you can always go to www.animallaw.info or look up the Animal Legal and Historical Center. It can give you far more information because I can't cram it all into in less than 3 minutes. And I see that once again, the church wants to get a special permit for
30 seconds.
fireworks. And if you're going to put your money where your mouth is, you want to prove how much you care about animals, you deny the permit. Because all fireworks do is it pollutes the environment. I've talked about this numerous times about the toxic chemicals in the fireworks, how it terrorizes cats, dogs, birds, and wildlife. And all those animals living in Spindler Park were there long before the church. They can always do a drone light
Thank you.
show instead. It's more cost effective, it doesn't harm animals or the planet. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to be heard? And Miss, I see you were here from Care House. We have a separate hearing for that, so. No, you're good. All right. With that, the first hearing of the public is closed. And we will move into approval of the minutes. Item A, regular meeting minutes from January 6, 2026.
Is for child victims of sexual abuse, physical abuse, and children who have witnessed a violent act, as well as their non-offending family members. Our goal is to minimize trauma for the child victim and to provide coping skills, advocacy, and case management for the families. We collaborate with all law enforcement jurisdictions in Macomb County, Child Protective Services, the Macomb County Prosecutor Office, and medical and mental health professionals. Care House serves as a beacon of hope for children victims of abuse, providing them with a safe space where their voices can be heard and the needs of their families will be met. Our services include crisis counseling, child safety and trauma responses, parent and child support groups, trauma-focused therapy sessions, assistance with crime victims' compensations, interpreters, and transportation services as needed as well. As the designated counsel in Macomb County for the Michigan Children's Trust Fund, Care House also offers child abuse prevention information and education to children in the community. Families are never charged for any of the services that we provide here at Care House. We provide all services to all referred children and their non-offending family members. I am proud to report that according to the most recent independent financial audit, 89 cents of every dollar that comes to Care House is specifically devoted to serving children and families in our community. Care House has coordinated over 11,800 forensic interviews since 1996. 554 of those residents resided in Eastpointe. We depend on our support from the community to provide a voice for our child victims and a safe place for them to be heard. We are very grateful for your past support and respectfully request your consideration for funding this upcoming year to support services for 10 qualifying children and their families that reside in Eastpointe. Of course, we will be grateful in any amount that is allocated to us. For more information, please visit our website, and thank you for your consideration.
Thank you.
Does anyone have any questions?
I think we'll do the hearing first, and then one of our first agenda items, if you don't mind sticking around for a moment, if anyone has questions, we can ask them then.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Would anyone else like to, yeah, thank you. Yeah, if you can just hand them to Randy on the end there.
Good evening. My name is Sheila McCann, and I'm the volunteer coordinator with Interfaith Volunteer Caregivers. With the number of older adults in Macomb County rapidly increasing, the need for support services due to frailties of age, chronic health conditions, or disabilities, as well as a lack of assistance due to changing family structure, this is growing dramatically and will continue to do so in the future. For over 30 years, our organization has been providing free basic assistance to hundreds of frail, older, and physically challenged adults, helping them to remain safely in their homes with the help of hundreds of volunteers. This assistance has been helping older and disabled adults with transportation, chores, respite breaks, errands, and loneliness. These opportunities provide fulfilling experience for those who wish to volunteer, as well as support for those in need. The CDBG Safe at Home project of IVC is a part of our larger chore and repair program for older and disabled adults. The project was developed to provide additional chore and repair services in the communities that are allocating funds for this purpose. Safe at Home allows us to assist low to moderate income seniors and physically challenged adults with indoor and outdoor chores, minor home repairs, and routine housekeeping. We identify individuals who cannot do these tasks on their own and have limited resources and prioritize those with the greatest need. We are requesting the CDBG funds to increase the number of low-income citizens we can reach to grow our program, as well as to coordinate the volunteers who do these services. IVC provides almost 20,000 hours of help over its services to nearly 500 people in need each year. With the CDBG funding, we awarded funding to complete 47 tasks in Eastpointe. We are projected to complete 65 for the 25-26 funding year. We project that we will complete 80 projects for the 26-27 funding year, and we're confident that additional CDBG funding will allow us to assist many more residents of Eastpointe with this much-needed service. Some examples of help through this project may be replacing locks, washing windows, raking leaves, routine housekeeping, minor home repairs, and installing smoke alarms. With the CDBG funding, the project can continue to grow and assist and can be granted to a variety of lower-income Eastpointe senior citizens and disabled adults. We appreciate your consideration. Any dollar amount granted is greatly appreciated for our program. We hope to continue to partner with you going forward. And if anybody here tonight knows of seniors that may use our services, I've provided some brochures, and we are always happy to provide Eastpointe City Office with some more brochures that are looking for assistance. Also, if you're looking to give the gift of time as a volunteer, please let us know by calling our office at 586-757-5551 or visiting our website at www.ivcinfo.org. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Would anyone else come on up?
Good evening. My name is Mallory Montgomery, and I'm the Director of the Counseling and Advocacy Department with Turning Point Incorporated. I'm here on behalf of Turning Point's shelter program. Turning Point has been providing a safe place for families fleeing violence since 1980, and we celebrated 45 years of services to support survivors of domestic violence, sexual violence, and human trafficking just last year. Between July 1st, 2024, and June 30th, 2025, our emergency shelter program provided 40 shelter bed nights to 101 residents of Eastpointe. Across other agency programs, Turning Point served 153 residents of Eastpointe. Our emergency shelter program is a safe haven for survivors of domestic and sexual violence. It provides immediate safety, crisis intervention, and resources to families trying to establish safety. This project is a multifaceted approach to end the cycle of violence within families. Turning Point's 2 shelter case managers meet with every new shelter resident within 24 hours of their arrival. We develop individualized plans based off of their goals. We also work to plan for their safety, housing, and financial stability. This plan can include literacy, immigration, credit repair, and supportive counseling services during and after leaving the shelter. Emergency shelter management programs have developed in collaboration and linkages to multiple systems, organizations, businesses, and churches that can help domestic violence survivors maintain their safety when leaving the shelter. And there is strong evidence which states that improving survivors' knowledge of and access to community resources leads to higher quality of life and less risk of re-abuse over time. Resource building serves as a protective factor that enhances women's safety within and outside of our shelter. We continue to provide comprehensive services to children while they are in shelter and after they leave. Our children's department supports crisis support, educational assistance, tutoring, safety planning, recreational activities, and someone is on site 7 days a week for our children and teens as their coordinator. We also have a day camp that runs in summer for all ages. Many children keep in contact with us for many months after leaving our shelter, and our children's crisis advocates work with children and teens so we can follow them from their time upon arrival, even after they've left us for up to 2 years. Turning Point Shelter Facility is completely accessible to those with disabilities, including an elevator, ramps, and bed space for those that use accessibility devices. We have increased our educational spaces, indoor and outdoor play areas for the children and the teens. We have private sleeping and bathroom facilities and multi-purpose rooms that function as a dining room, activity room. Counseling spaces are private and confidential and built in with the shelter program. We can see clients wherever they're at and meet them where they are. The spaces that we use are often in need of repair and restoration. However, we would like to focus our ask for the Eastpointe CDBG budget to allot $8,500 to fund shelter meals, basic needs, crisis intervention, case management, childcare, program advocacy, and our work to continue to support them with individual and group counseling. Thank you for your time and consideration to Turning Point Incorporated.
Thank you. Oh, you're fine.
Good evening. My name is Krista Carpenter, and I am the Executive Director of Hearts for Homes. Hearts for Homes is a nonprofit organization here in Macomb County helping homeless and low-income families find sustainable and affordable housing. The average two-bedroom apartment in Macomb County averages between $1,200 and $1,500 a month. Most landlords are charging 1.5 times that for the security deposit. So you're looking at about $4,000 to $4,500 to move into any housing, whether that's apartment or individual dwelling. So what we try to do is help with the security deposit in the form of $1,000 to $1,200 per family. It gives them the money becomes theirs, and it gives them a vested interest in keeping the place well kept, so that they get security deposit comes back to them. It becomes their nest egg. Last year, we helped 45 families, which equates to 91 children in Macomb County. 6 of those families and 13 children were here in Eastpointe. We were hoping that you guys would continue your support of Hearts for Homes and help us. Eastpointe is one of our cities that goes very quickly. We're done first quarter because everybody wants to live here because it's a wonderful city to live in. So we'd appreciate if you'd consider us helping us this year as well.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. Would anyone else wish to be heard in regards to the CDBG allocations? All right, we will close the public hearing for that. And we will move into, there's no unfinished business, reports from administration, city manager report. Mr. Mattis.
All right, hello. A couple of quick reminders for us this evening, and a couple other things going on. We've been busy the last several weeks. Lots of meetings and things working on projects and contracts and all kinds of fun things coming up into the future. So there's lots going on with buildings, facilities, parks. There's a lot of irons in the fire currently. We are excited for our city council tour of city facilities on January 31st. So I will send details for that. It'll be a workshop, so no decisions happen during that, but we will get a look at all the city facilities as we prepare, as we begin working on the budget for next year. We had a very good.
I think the one thing I wanted to bring up to you, and I guess now would be a good time, discussion on maybe changing our date for the Joint Planning Commission. I know that the chair reached out, said, I'm not in town. I think they'd like us to have it on March 5th.
Yep, our joint meeting with Planning Commission, development-related boards that we talked about last time for March, I believe, 17th. We're looking at moving to March 5th. We'll make that official in the near future, but the 17th posed a few problems, so we will find a time for that meeting that will be an hour or less. Thanks.
Is that the 15th, the council meeting as well?
No, that's not moving.
It's one of, I think it's one of their meeting dates.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a planning meeting date.
Okay.
Yep. So they'll get home court advantage, but we'll be good neighbors too.
Any questions from council? All right, Finance Director's report, Mr. Blum.
Yes, good evening, Mayor and Council. The agenda's long enough. I'm not going to add to it, but I'm open for questions.
There you have it. Do you have any questions? No.
Okay.
All right, City Attorney's report, Mr. Albright.
Thank you, Mayor, members of council. Mine will be a little longer than Mr. Blum's, but I circulated several ordinance changes for council's consideration. The first is the microchipping of dogs and cats, which was recommended by the city's animal control officer. Also a provision which would regulate animals being locked in a car during extreme temperatures. Also a spray and neuter requirement for cats. If those ordinances are acceptable, I can put those in ordinance form for first reading at the next meeting if council so chooses.
I wasn't sure, well, I think some of them I wanted on there. I don't know if I wanted all of them. I would suggest, the council, would you guys be okay if we just reviewed it, and if anyone wants to add it, reach out to Ryan and Mr. Albright and add it to the agenda?
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. And I also have drafted a proposed policy regarding ADA public comment. I've circulated that to city administration. I have received some comments. I'm going to incorporate those comments into the proposed policy and have that on the agenda for council's consideration at the first meeting in February. And that's all I have, Mayor. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Albright?
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we'll move into new business. We're going to start with the reappointments to boards and commissions. And I suppose, would anyone like to just start off with a motion or motions?
Motion to reappoint Eastpointe Memorial Library Commission member LaDonna LeVay and Kevin Murphy with term expiration dates of August 15, 2029. Motion to reappoint Park Commission member, should I?
Let me do one at a time.
Okay.
Is there support?
I'll support.
All right, comments? Please call the roll.
Councilmember Scott?
Yes.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Councilmember Bashadlik?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley.
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld?
Yes. Whoever wants to go.
Motion to reappoint Beautification Commission member Pamela Russell and Kevin Murphy with the term expiration date of October 15, 2028.
Please call the roll.
Councilmember Scott?
Yes.
Councilmember Bashadlik?
Yes.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley.
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld?
Yes. And Board of Ethics?
Okay, motion to reappoint Ethics Board's member Eric Lloyd and Gary Stasek with term expirations of June 30th, 2028, and to reappoint member Lynn Tubin with a term expiration date of June 30th, 2027.
Support.
All right, please call the roll.
Councilmember Scott?
Yes.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley.
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld?
Yes.
Councilmember Bashadlik?
Yes.
Motion to reappoint Park Commission member Gary Stasiak and Betty Bishop with term expiration dates of October 15th, 2028.
Support.
What was that amount?
I would move to utilize the sum of $23,400 to be allocated
Oh, the
6 ways, and $3,900 per
39.
organization.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, if I may,
Yeah, yes.
oh, you want to take that one?
No, go ahead.
Sorry, the senior chore program, the 15,000, I should have put it in there, the 15,000 automatically goes to that?
I was wondering, I thought that's
Yeah.
what you were going to say.
So I didn't know if, right, you wanted to change the calculations. I think Randy was supposed to bring a calculator.
We don't have a spreadsheet anymore.
Come on, finance guy. All right,
So just so I can, you were looking to divide it up evenly?
I just figured that would be the easiest way to do it. If you have a different idea, that's fine, too.
And what was that amount to each?
It was $3,900 divided among the 6, but it appears that the senior tour program automatically gets the 15,000, so
It would be 4680
it would be
per
46
organization if you split it between 5 of them.
between the 5.
Okay, and which ones did you list again?
I listed Care House, Hearts for Homes, Interfaith Volunteer Caregivers, McRest, and Turning Point.
Okay.
I would be okay, I'd be okay with that.
Okay. So that would just leave out Maggie's Wigs for Kids and Single Family.
As well as oh, no, well, they're not eligible.
Yeah, they weren't
Never mind, sorry.
eligible.
I think Samaritan House is in there, too.
Yeah, there's no request for Samaritan House shown here.
No, there isn't.
So and we're okay going above what some of the places asked for? Like, that's no issue, is there?
I mean, I
In
don't
doing that?
know if that
Like, I know some people asked, like, one group asked for 1,200. Are we allowed to go above that amount for everybody?
I didn't include that group, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think interfaith
Is the only
volunteer
one.
would be higher, but I don't think, I mean, looking at that one, if I'm reading this correctly, they overspent more.
Yeah.
They spent more than we allocated. So I think because of that, I'm okay with it. And then, you know, the ones that are getting a little bit under, align with the ones that some funds were returned to the county.
Okay. Okay. I guess I had a breakdown where I was trying to include everyone who asked for something. And I think that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that would be 7 people or 7 nonprofits that asked. And I was trying to, I guess the way that I looked at it, I mean, you guys can tell me how you feel. I looked at what everybody spent, and I know some people underspent, and we lost some funds that got recaptured by the county, I believe it was. And then there were some that overspent. So I had a slightly different breakdown, but I wouldn't be opposed if, I guess, well, I'll just tell you how I looked at it. I looked at Care House. I had 5,000 for them, which was close, was still a little bit above where they spent in 2024 for the actual spending. I had Hearts for Homes at 3,000, Interfaith at 3,600, McRest at 5,390. Maggie's Wigs for Kids at the 1,200 that they asked for, Single Family at 3,000, and Turning Point at $2,210. And some of what I looked at was just some of the funds that we lost based off of underspending. And I get that it's a needs-based thing, but, you know, that's just kind of the breakdown that I came up with. And then everybody that asked for something still gets something or somewhere close to what they asked for, more or less, well, for the most part. But, I mean, how do you guys feel? Or you want to just keep it with the initial?
I guess the only thing is, so Randy, we won't know until next year, really, what single-family living
Correct.
had spent.
Yep.
Okay.
So, Mr. Mayor, the suggestion, and I guess it's a motion, including everybody except the ones who didn't ask for anything. I mean, like single-family living, Samaritan House, a wave, never asked for anything. But I like the idea that that was presented to even it out. I would ask one question from the finance director. Funds lost. Can you explain that to us, please?
You want to take it? I'm gonna let Kim take it, CDBG rep.
Mr. Mayor, if I may.
Sure.
So this is the first year that the county has actually given us an update. Now, the amounts that are listed that were spent or lost were from 2024, because the 2025 program is still going on. So what it means is we allocated, for instance, Care House $9,000, but they only spent $4,076. So there's $4,923 that did not get spent. The nonprofits are required, or the rules of the CDBG is that the first 3 quarters of the year, the funding must be spent in the municipality. If there's no use for, if there's not a need in the municipality, the last quarter of the financial year, they can spend it in Macomb County itself. So that what they're saying is that 4,900, as an example, was not spent in the community. So it was not allocated or reallocated to anything else. So as in total, the county lost about $17,000. Eastpointe residents themselves, it was $9,773 that were not spent on Eastpointe residents or in the county.
So when you say lost, help me out.
Sorry.
I'm listening to what you're saying, but you lost me.
It was kept.
Well, let me, Care House has said funds lost for $4,923. Did we literally lose that money, or was it just not spent? I mean, when you use the word lost, are you talking, we literally lost in cash the $4,900?
That funding went back to HUD unspent.
So we really didn't lose it?
Well, we did not receive $9,000 total that should have been spent in our community or in Macomb County. So the federal government kept it.
So it didn't come out of our treasury?
No,
Okay, so
it was unspent.
I guess I'm a little, I don't know what word I want to, I guess I'm a little perplexed saying that we lost that money. We really didn't lose it, it just wasn't spent, and
Correct.
then the county, it went back to the county didn't. So who kept the 4,900?
HUD,
Okay,
housing, yeah,
all right,
the federal government.
well, all right. I understand what you're saying, but I don't, we didn't lose it.
It got taken back and it did get spent on anybody in the community, so it didn't benefit our community, is more or less.
Well, it wouldn't, well, when you say it didn't benefit our community, it didn't,
It didn't get used in our community, is what I'm saying.
our care house didn't.
It did not get used. That's the money that
Yeah.
they had a certain amount allocated.
Right.
And then they only spent part of it.
Right.
And then the county or whoever took the money back or kept it. So
Right.
it didn't get used to benefit Eastpointe residents or
Right.
Macomb County residents.
That's right.
So there was, in the write-ups for like the Wigs for Kids, I think at the bottom, the notes indicate it was allocated 4,500 for the 2024 year. But that was not with any from Eastpointe, am I correct on that? We didn't award last year to them, okay.
That is correct, Mayor. So on that sheet, Chesterfield, Macomb Township, New Baltimore, Shelby Township, Washington Township, they were allocated $4,500, but only spent $853. So then unspent was $3,646.
Okay, that's what I was wondering about. Well, I guess, so I don't think anyone supported any motions, so I think at this point, we're just still chatting. Councilman Baker, I think I'm worried, I mean, if we want to throw some money at Wigs for Kids, I don't feel confident that'll get spent. I think it could be clawed back. If we do allocate to them, I'd probably want it to be at least a little to see if they'll use it this year. I think, agree with adding in the single-family living because it's the second year. We don't have the data to see if they've used it. So I kind of like not deny them this year just because they haven't been able to report yet. So maybe I think I would probably be supportive of taking the full amount and dividing it among those 6.
Okay, I mean, I'm not gonna argue about it. The amount that I asked for, that I just said for Wigs for Kids was just what they asked for. I didn't think it was that much based off of what everybody else is getting, but if you want to do it amongst the 6, I mean, it's fine.
Or how about this, actually? So divided 6 ways. Oh, is that what you originally had, 3,900?
Yes.
6 ways? What I would suggest, actually, I'll just make a motion. We'll see what happens.
We're good.
5 that were mentioned, and then instead of Wigs for Kids getting the 38, you're suggesting that they would get 600,
Yes.
and the other 5 would get
Another 6.
6 would get 38.
Yes.
Okay. And you got a motion, and that was supported.
Yes. Any other discussion? Please call the roll.
Mayor Kleinfeld,
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick,
Yes.
Councilmember Scott,
Yes.
Councilmember Baker,
Yes.
Councilmember Curley.
Yes.
All right, we will move on to approval of brick and mortar projects for 2026 CDBG competitive applications. and thank you, everyone.
Okay, can I ask one question before we?
Go, yeah.
I know we have two projects that are recommended here, and it's asking that we give higher priority to one of the two. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yes.
Okay, and so between the two projects, is there one that is deemed any more severe condition than the other, or are they about the same? As far as like the reconstruction of, like the one is the full reconstruction of Raven from Forest to Hoss, and the other is Roxana from 9 Mile to 440 feet north of 9 Mile. So like, is there one that's deemed higher priority than the other, or do they weigh about the same?
Please, yes.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I can answer that question real quick. On the map, we list the priorities. We actually, our priority ranking would be Raven from Forest to Hoss.
Okay. Okay. That's what I thought, but I wanted to be sure that I had it right. Okay, well, I'm prepared to make a motion if.
Go for it.
Okay. Well, I will move that we authorize city administration to prepare and submit applications to the Macomb County Competitive Grant Program for Community Development Block Grant Funds in the amount of $150,000 each for the following two proposals: full reconstruction of Raven from Forest to Hoss, and also full reconstruction of Roxana from 9 Mile to 440 feet north of 9 Mile, with higher priority given to the full reconstruction of Raven from Forest to Hoss, and further authorize the city manager to execute all documents necessary for the program.
Support.
All right, any other questions on that one? Please call the roll.
Sorry, Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley.
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld?
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick?
Yes.
Councilmember Scott?
Yes.
Moving on to item C, approval of contract for Flocks Concrete pavement repairs.
I move that we award Phlox Avenue concrete pavement repairs from Hoss to 10 Mile to Luigi Ferdinandi and Sons Cement Company of Roseville, Michigan, in the amount of $163,290.60, which includes a 10% contingency, and further authorize the city manager to execute all necessary documents.
Support.
Great, any questions on that one?
I do have a question. I believe it would be for AEW. Is that going to be full replacement of the cement there? I'm just asking because there's an area in that on Phlox, I live right by there, that dips, it's very low. I'm sure you know, right by the school there, where when it rains, it floods. Would that area be replaced is what I guess I'm kind of curious about.
I can't say specifically the area that you're referring to, but generally it's a pavement patching program. But if there are sunken areas, then those areas will be removed and replaced as part of the project.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? Please call the roll.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Councilmember Scott?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley.
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld?
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick?
Yes.
All right, moving on to item D, approval of contract for 2026 pavement striping program.
I move that we award the contract for the 2026 pavement striping program to PK Contracting of Troy, Michigan, in the total amount of $252,778.35, which includes a 10% contingency, and further authorize the city manager to execute all necessary documents.
Is there support?
Support.
Mr. Mayor, just to let the audience know, this project involves resealing of joints and cracks along local roads. And this year, the area is between 8 Mile and Topher from West City.
Oh, Councilman Curley, that'll be the next one.
Well, I just jumped ahead. Slap me right in the face. What are you laughing at? You know, you're still very new.
So, well, I will say.
I'm sorry.
No problem. I asked administration ahead of time because I don't know if it was in here. This is not just the painted, I believe it's the plastic, like the better quality striping that's supposed to last, so. Call the roll.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Councilmember Scott?
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld?
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley.
Yes.
Item E, Councilman Curley.
No, I'll make the motion, but I just want to let the folks know, this project involves resealing of joints and cracks along local roads, and this year the area is between 8 Mile and Topher from west city limits to Kelly Road. I want to move the award the contract for the 2026 joint and crack sealing program to Construction of Wixom, Michigan, in the amount of $175,291, which includes a 10% contingency fund, and further authorize the city manager to execute all necessary documents.
I'll support that motion for Scodeller Construction of Wixom, Michigan.
I was going to ask, was that Scodell? All right. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Curley.
Yes.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick?
Yes.
Councilmember Scott?
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld?
Yes. Item F, approval of contract for 9 Mile in Lexington water main replacement. Would anyone like to make a motion?
I move that we award the 9 Mile Road water main replacement from Tuscany to Kelly and the Lexington Avenue water main replacement from 9 Mile Road to Stevens to ILE Construction Company of Shelby Township, Michigan, in the amount of $2,854,771.12, which includes a 10% contingency, and further authorize the city manager to execute all necessary documents.
I'll support that. I did just want to confirm, and I think I figured out the answer. That is awarding it with the base bid with the alternate, so it's with the tunneling?
That is correct, Mayor. It does include the alternate that would be directional drilling under the Kelly intersection.
Okay. Should that be specified in the motion that it's including that, or are we good as?
I think it's included in the dollar amount that we've recommended, so we should be okay.
Okay. All right. Any other questions? Please call the roll.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld?
Yes.
Councilmember Scott?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley.
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick?
Yes.
All right. Item G, approval of special land use for 24700 Gratiot.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, I would move to approve the proposed special land use for a used automobile sales facility at 24700 Gratiot, 02-14-231-004, based upon the findings of facts and the planner's review letter dated November 26, 2025, and the Planning Commissioner's recommendation after a duly noticed public hearing at the Planning Commission meeting on December 4th, 2025.
Support.
Yeah.
Mr. Mayor, I would also just let the people know that this project proposes renovating of the parking lot, painting the existing building, and add an ornamental fence, which would be nice.
All right. Any other comments? Please call the roll.
Councilmember Curley.
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick?
Yes.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld?
Yes.
Councilmember Scott?
Yes.
Item H, introduction and first reading of ordinance number 26-1253, zoning text amendments. Would anyone like to make a motion?
I would move to introduce and give first reading to ordinance number 26-1253 to amend city charter 50 zoning, Article 2, overview of zoning districts and the zoning map, Article 7, general provisions, Article B, 8, parking, loading, and excess, and Article 19, glossary and schedule, a second reading and adoption for the regular city council meeting, February 3rd, 2026.
I will support that. And I think this is the first reading. I think I had some questions about the setbacks and things, but I think we can address that at the next meeting. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Curley.
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld.
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick.
Yes.
Councilmember Scott.
No.
Councilmember Baker.
No.
Item I, introduction and first reading of ordinance number 26-12554, general zoning amendments.
Mr. Mayor, I would move to introduce and give first reading to ordinance number 26-1254 to amend Chapter 50 zoning, Article 2, overview of zoning districts, Article 7, general provisions, Article 9, landscaping, Article 10, signs, Article 13, special land use, review, Article 19, glossary and the zoning map, and to schedule a second reading and adoption of the regular council meeting on February 3rd, 2026.
Support.
All right, any questions? Please call the roll.
Councilmember Curley.
Yes.
Councilmember Scott.
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld.
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick.
Yes.
Councilmember Baker.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Moving on to approval of the Gratiot Cruise special event application.
Move to approve the special event application for the Eastpointe Gratiot Cruise and related classic car shows on June 9 to June 13, 2026, contingent on the following requirements. All food trucks are to be inspected and permitted 5 days before the event. Any tents larger than 10 by 10 must be approved 1 week before the event. The event will be coordinated with the Police Department and Department of Public Works and Services, and related costs will be covered. All vendors must be licensed with the clerk's office prior to the event, and the committee will provide the required general and liquor liability.
Support.
All right, any comments or questions? Please call the roll.
Councilmember Shadlick.
Yes.
Councilmember Scott.
Yes.
Councilmember Baker.
Yes.
Councilmember Curley.
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld.
Yes. Item K, approval of the special event application for the Better Life Church fireworks on July 3rd, 2026.
Motion to approve the special event application of Better Life Church for fireworks on July 3rd, 2026 in Splendor Park, adjacent to the Better Life property, contingent upon the following requirements. All food trucks must be inspected and permitted 5 days before event. Any tents larger than 10 by 10 must be permitted and comply with International Fire Code 2021, Chapter 31. Fireworks, no commercial grade fireworks with a properly licensed operator, or only consumer grade fireworks are permitted. The city of Eastpointe must be listed as an additional insured. There must be a proper safety zone from the launch site.
I'll support, but there, where it says fireworks with no commercial grade fireworks, it should be without a properly licensed operator. So it's just a little typo.
Mr. Mayor, I got a question before you call the roll. Someone explain to me what commercial grade fireworks are and consumer grade fireworks are. And who made that decision?
Is anyone able to speak to that? Okay.
I can take a crack at that. I believe commercial ones would require, there's licenses and operators who they have to maintain those licenses to put on the show.
So those explode higher, or they're bigger?
I believe so. I'm not an expert on it. It's been a while since I was a kid that played with fireworks. But there are a lot of consumer-grade fireworks that are available because you can fly them in Michigan, but there are bigger and different sizes and gauges and things like that that require licensing and permitting, so.
Okay.
Any other questions?
No.
Please call the roll.
Councilmember Scott.
Yes.
Councilmember Baker.
Yes.
Councilmember Curley.
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld.
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick.
No.
All right. Moving on to item L, discussion on opioid settlement funds. Would anyone, I guess, like to open up?
I did ask this finance director, how much money are we talking about?
So far, $346,777.63.
Okay. And the freedom or to make a motion to where we want this money to go is this list on the first page. Is that, you had mentioned before the meeting that there's certain places for certain things that you can do with the money.
Yeah, that's all the following pages. It's listed as Exhibit A and Schedule B that came from the various opioid settlement agreements, and that's the only things we can spend it on.
Okay. Well, I'll just make a comment, then I won't make an emotion yet, but there's a lot of places where this money can go to, and I'm sure all five of us would probably have a different idea where the money should go to. I'm in favor, and I would agree to dividing it equally to the fire department and the police department. Now, what they can use it for, I don't know. And maybe, I don't know if you've read those 5 or 6 pages or not, but they certainly can decide once they get the money what they can do with it. I don't know if they could use it for repair or, I don't know. But my choice would be to give half of it to the fire department, half of it to the police department.
Both departments could use it for training related to the opioids. We talked about using it for the purchase of Narcan, but currently we get it for free from the county, so we don't actually expend any money on that. Excuse me. Actually, Chief Haynes, do you want to talk about your program you had mentioned?
Sure. So briefly, it's in, I'm going to get the acronym wrong. I mean, it's FAN, but it used to be Families Against Narcotics now, and I can't remember what they changed it to. But they have a program that's called QRT, it's Quick Response Team. And what that involves is us having officers go with them to residents, apartments, wherever the case may be, to where there has been a recent overdose, and trying to do outreach and get them into counseling, get them into, a rehab facility, that sort of thing. And that would require us to have an MOU with FAN, which we do for Hope Not Handcuffs and in other programs. This would basically cover the overtime costs of having officers come in on either a weekly, bi-weekly, monthly basis, whatever they can afford, to go out and assist FAN with getting help for opioid overdoses.
I guess, Mr. Albright.
Thank you, Mayor. Last week, I did receive an email from the case manager who is administering the funds on behalf of the city. She's a member of a law firm, and she reached out to me. So if the council did decide to give 50% to the police department, 50% to the fire department, if a question ever came up by either department on the usage or proposed usage of those funds, that question could simply come to me, and then I could raise it with Ms. Handy to say, okay, one of our departments proposes to use this money a certain way. Would that fit under one of the categories listed in Exhibit E, and see what they had to say?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Actually, you had raised your hand, Ms. Pashada, first, so you go ahead.
I do have a quick question. How about, because I think FAN's a phenomenal organization. I think that's a great idea. But I'd also like to propose something like Live Right. They're right here on Gratiot. They're local in Roseville. I don't know if anybody's familiar with their facility or not, but they do a lot of great work in the community, a lot of outreach, especially for residents even here in Eastpointe. They utilize it. They do some really phenomenal work there. I'm wondering if something like that would be beneficial, if we could donate something towards that, maybe even a lesser amount or something. Just, I think it would be a good organization locally that would be utilized immediately in this vicinity. There is definitely a need. They hold NA meetings there and stuff like that. They do outreach. They have housing. They do all kinds of community outreach.
And so I'm in support of something that would, we can use the funds that would help the youth. Now, I know Live Right also has programs where they also help the youth and would help educate them about opioids and assist them with,
Sobriety.
yeah,
Everything.
avoiding the usage. So I would be in support of something where we can use the funds for that, even if the fire department or the police department can educate the youth on how to avoid or use opioids.
So I'm going to kind of just backtrack a little bit because I was a little unclear. Randy, I know you spoke about it at the last meeting. This was kind of put on because you're providing a report that you wanted to identify uses for.
Correct. I have a report due to the state in February, which will show how much we've received, and then I have to show how much we've spent, which is none, and then if we have anything designated for the future for spending. So if we can come up with some ideas that are agreed to, I can add it to the report. Otherwise, it's going to show zeros on the expenditure side.
Is that something is the state trying to encourage people to spend the money as quickly as it comes in?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to come take it away, but it's just a matter of, it would look good if we had something on there. But if it goes with zeros, it should not be a big deal this year.
Okay. Well, I like, I like all the ideas that are being put forward. There's nothing in here that's bad. I think I like the idea of education in youth and maybe even, maybe trying to do some research because I don't know, we haven't had, I imagine, any type of specific targeted research to say what's going on here, what problems are, do we not have data on? And I don't know where you would start with that, but it seems to me like doing something like that could be an excellent start to addressing any issues.
Margaret, what would you suggest giving this organization? I mean, have you thought of, give me a dollar amount.
I mean, if you want me to throw a figure out there, just throw a dollar amount?
Yeah.
Because I know they would be grateful for anything. I did actually contact, and I spoke with the director over there, and, just toured the facilities to see what it is that they do and the meetings that they host and things like that. I mean, they offer a whole slew of stuff that they do there. I mean, they have yoga classes, they have everything. They have resume writing classes, things to, enable those who are trying to fight addiction, not necessarily just opioids, but fighting addiction and staying sober, living sober, trying to get back into the real world. They host the NA meetings, which are, critical for so many individuals who are trying to fight addiction. So I just thought that it's a great organization that would utilize the funds specifically for those things. They do housing, like I said, they do meetings, they do everything there. So it's
Where are they located?
do you know where Randazzo's is on Gratiot, on this side of Gratiot? Where Randazzo's is? It used to be Fox Portrait Studio. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
That building
Yeah, yeah.
is Live Right now.
Huge building.
Yes, yes, Live Right is housed there. And like I said, they do meetings and they do all kinds of great, community outreach and things like that for, addiction. So I think they're a great organization. I mean, if you want me to throw a figure out there, again, they would take anything. I'm just gonna throw a figure $40,000 out there. I think they would be extremely grateful for any amount, not necessarily that large of an amount. But I'm just throwing a figure out there because I know it's local and,
Well,
I know residents in Eastpointe who utilize the facility.
what you explain what they do is really nice. There are people out there who have those problems, and they have a place that's pretty close, particularly to Roseville, Warren, Eastpointe, Center Line. Do you have any idea how many people are taking advantage of it right now? Did she give you a number?
I didn't ask for numbers on that, but, I do know that there are Eastpointe residents who do utilize that facility. I'm aware of a couple of them. Actually, one member was homeless, family had given up and whatnot. So, the fact that he's staying sober and attending meetings there and trying to get back into the real world, it's beneficial. It really truly is beneficial and life-changing for so many.
And give me the name of it again.
Live Right, LIVE hyphen RITE. And like I said, they're right on Gratiot here. I could get the address if you give me a second,
That's
in
okay.
Roseville.
Okay, let me throw something out.
Can I just
No,
point out?
yes.
We are not at a point that we have to spend the money today.
Well, that's fine, I appreciate that.
So if it's worthwhile, we can reach out to Live Right and see if they'd want to come present more information. We can also consider other opportunities for spending, because it is a sizable chunk of money, and we would like to do some good with it.
Yeah.
So,
And there's more coming in the future.
yeah.
We also, the reporting will be after the first meeting in February. So, if you want to have further discussion or make a decision at that point, we can still do it.
And it doesn't sound like we're committing funds. I mean, really, we're just reporting what we're intending to do with them. right?
Correct.
Okay.
Over the years of my political life, one of the things I really did not like was to postpone something when we could probably deal with it that night, whether I was on a school board or whatever. So I'm going to make a motion, and it might not get support, and it might pass. I would move that we take the $347,777.63 and give $40,000 to Life
Live Right.
Live Right, and then the remaining would be divided evenly between the fire department and police department.
Did we determine the use?
Huh?
Have we determined the use? Like, what are we going to use it for?
I don't understand the question. What are we going to use it for? What does that mean?
Okay, so there's many options, whether it be training, educating the youth.
No, that would be up to the fire chief and police chief of where the money should be spent. I'm not going to sit here and say they have to use all the money for this, this, and this.
Well, that's a part of the requirement. We have to define what they're using the funds for.
No, I don't think we have to define it.
Well, can I ask?
There's a list of what they can use it for and what they can't use it for, and Randy would tell them that.
Well, are they looking for us to earmark for uses or say this is what we're using? I mean, saying we're allocating it to a department. Is that what they're?
It wasn't that specific.
Okay.
So we probably will get away with allocating to police and fire for uses within the confines of the agreement. And if not, they'll send it back and we'll have another meeting.
So I have a quick question too. So let's just say, I know the fire department, the fire chief's not here, but so if the fire department decided that they were going to visit, say, the elementary schools and do some educational, abstinence programs against drugs, kind of like a DARE type thing or whatever. I mean, I'm old, but that's the program I'm familiar with. Something along those lines, then that would be a way that they could utilize it with, like, say, educating the youth or something along those lines. Okay.
There hasn't been a second.
No. So, go ahead. Did you want to chime in?
I'll second.
Mike, it looked like you had an idea. Was there something else that you were going to add?
I was thinking, because I do like the idea of education and, like I said, maybe research, but it's not like we have specific proposals in front of us. I was thinking maybe $40K for Live Right, the remaining to be, allocated to public safety to develop research and education programs for youth or something. And if they come with another proposal, I think, was it DART, the other thing you were talking about?
Yeah.
Van.
QRT, Quick Response Team.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And there's also, obviously, we have an SRO, at least at this point until we review the contract, because our contract will be up in July. But we can also use some of that towards education in the schools, probably using our SRO, which may help cut some of those costs as well.
So I guess I just wanted to have some sort of idea of like, generally speaking, the realm we were hoping to use the funds for.
And if you just call it public safety instead of splitting 50-50, you might find there's more opportunity in police than fire, or fire than police, or something like that.
I mean, that's what I was thinking, that, because then they could kind of work out between them what would be appropriate for which department to do. So I guess I'll make a motion to.
Wait, there's a motion on the floor. You can't make a motion when there's a motion on the floor.
I'm going to make a motion to amend.
You know what?
Motion to amend. So I'm going to make a motion to amend that the remaining amount be directed to public safety to develop programs for research and education regarding the youth.
And would that still with the 40,000 going to Live Right?
And the 40, yeah, leaving that alone.
And where would you want the money to go? All of the remaining money, other than 40,000?
To public safety, so.
And who's public safety?
That would be police
People
and
may
fire.
not know.
Police and fire.
Well, isn't that what my main motion was, to give it to police and fire? And they can do with what they want to?
Well, I think you said the split at 50-50, but if you do public safety, then it doesn't have to be 50-50 because.
Well, public safety would be, you said both agencies,
Yeah.
police and fire.
Is there, well.
I'll support that.
Anyone else? Okay. Yeah, I just, then we're not locked in that like, they have like a set earmark, 50%'s here, 50%'s there. They can sort of explore programs and sort of divvy it up. I was trying to be a little more like lenient by using that language.
But the money would be split between the two, between fire and the police.
I mean, I guess unless you guys fight about it, one of you takes it all.
So, but what you're doing, what you're doing is saying, yeah, they can, but you want them, this is specific as what they have to do. Whether they needed something else where they could buy it would be legal. You want the entire funds to go to what you just said, education and training.
Yeah, I think that's giving direction. I try to explore this. I mean, I don't think we're locked in. If there's an opportunity or something that comes along, I'm not against exploring it, but I think right now we're just sort of labeling intentions for the funding. Is there other comments?
Excuse me.
Well,
All right.
I don't know. You're dividing the money up, and maybe that's what they would say, let's use half of what we just got to do what the mayor had suggested. But your motion is now forcing them to spend, what, all of it to what you're saying, or a portion of it, or half of it? What, be more specific what you're trying to say.
Yes, I don't think I'm being vague about that. The remaining amount of money, this is the kind of program we want you to look at for it.
To look at it.
Yeah, I mean, whether or not it's education or research or something like that, it was an area that I wanted, or I believe deserves some specific focus. So I was throwing that out there to see if there was support from council. So right now, it's just an amendment, and I guess we'll
Well, the
see.
amendment is just as valid as the regular, the motion is. So I just want to make sure that you're not handcuffing the fire chief and the police chief and saying they got to, maybe they'll, what they're going to get, whatever half of that is, maybe they'll take $50,000 and use it for what you're suggesting, and the rest they'll use for what they think they need.
Well, I think if they wanted to go outside of that, they would have to bring it back to council and say, hey, we think we have a better idea for the funding.
No, you're not hearing what I'm saying. If they took a portion of that money they're getting, did you divide it up yet? What they would get?
It would be 306.
How much?
It would be $306,777.63.
Okay.
When you take away the 40,000 for Live Right that's designated separately.
So you're suggesting that you're not saying specifically how much money they have to spend on what you're suggesting. They might be able to devise a program that would be $60,000. But then you said, when I just said that, they'd have to, if they want to spend the rest of the money on something else, they'd have to come back to us. Why would you say that?
Because that's my motion.
No, it's not your motion. Your
I
motion
supported
was,
your amendment to the.
Yeah.
Gee.
That's my motion, to give direction and say, hey, go try to find these kind of programs to
Chief,
spend money on.
do you understand the motion and the amendment?
I believe I do. I'm just not sure where to begin with researching. I mean, I'm not a researcher. I don't even know where to begin with that, but that's for us to look into.
Well, if I may, I think it sounds like, I mean, that we've mentioned a couple programs, like I know there was CARE of Southeastern Michigan that focused on prevention in the schools for youth and families. So I think there's places that you can start about asking people, how do we implement certain things? But my understanding is what we're doing is trying to give basically direction for Mr. Blum to say, hey, this is what we're looking to do. And then once they say, yes, that's good, we approve that, then I think there's a little more, I guess, flexibility that we have, but we're just voicing what the intention is right now. It doesn't sound like from what Mr. Blum described that we're locked in or that something's etched in stone. But it's just to really give some direction as to what we're going to do with these funds. Am I correct? Yes. Okay.
I understand the intent, Mayor, but I just want to make sure that you're not handcuffing them to use. And then when you made a remark about they would have to come back to the council with a different idea they have, is that part of your amendment? It's not, is it? We were just talking to one another, and you made that statement. I just want to make sure that's not part of the amendment, that they would be forced to come back and say, we want to do blah, blah, blah. And then they have to get 3 votes from the council. Once we give them the money, I'll agree with what the research, what they can do, but there are other things that they want to do. They shouldn't have to come back to the council to get permission.
That's your position. I think you'll be against the amendment then.
Well, it sounded like, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Then spell out your amendment again, specifically, so whoever's writing it down will know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay, so my amendment was, well, first to leave the 40,000 earmarked for Live Right, and that the remaining amount be left to public safety for programs to explore research and education with the youth. So, are there any other comments on that?
No.
Well,
Me.
no, I just want the money to go there, but they'll find something to do. And if you want to get your toilets fixed, then you have to come back to the council. If you want to put a light bulb in, the mayor says you have to come back to the council.
But I don't think that's what those funds
What?
are not used for maintenance.
They what?
They're not specified for maintenance. That's not for
They're not
maintenance.
specified for anything right now.
Yes, I mean, we have a list. They gave us a list. It was emailed.
Did you read the
It's in your
list?
I did. That's why I know what it can be used for.
Okay, I'm going to vote for it because
Rude. That was very rude.
most of it's going to go there anyway.
That was very rude. That was very rude.
If we don't have any other more comments on the motion, I just want to keep it on track. I'd like to call the question for the amendment first, please.
Got it. Mayor Kleinfeld?
Yes.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley,
No.
Councilmember Shadlick?
No.
Councilmember Scott?
Yes.
Okay, so the main motion's back on the floor with that amendment. Please call the roll on that.
Councilmember Curley,
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick?
Yes.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld?
Yes.
Councilmember Scott?
Yes.
No?
All right. Thank you. Moving on to item M, return of change policy.
Never thought I'd have something this ridiculous on there. But we do need a policy in place. We have run out of pennies, and no bank can order any from the Federal Reserve anymore. Until we have a formal policy, my directive has been to give back more than is owed. But we have basically a round up, round down option, or we always go in the customer's favor. And until there's a national or a state policy, we need to set one at the local level, so I'm not just giving money away at my own discretion.
If you'd like, I could come pay my next bill in all pennies.
That's the only way we're getting any. And we are going to try to get all of our items to end in a 0 or a 5 going forward.
I think that we should always just round up in the customer's favor to the nearest 5 cents, but would anyone like to make a motion?
When you say in a customer service, sounds like something that I was going to suggest. So you run, I guess my thought on it, Mayor, is that whether it's 1, 2, 3, or 4 cents, if it's $1.01 or $1.02 or $1.03 or $1.04, the resident pays $1. There's no up or down. I mean, why, if it's $1.03 or $1.04, why would we charge the resident more money than what they owe?
This is for giving change back.
2 or 3 cents.
This is for giving change back if somebody pays in cash. So if we owe them $1.01 in change, we'd give them $1.05. We don't lower their bill, we give them more change than they're owed. So they still have to pay their bill.
Yeah.
It's just how we give them the change back. So pay with a credit card, pay with a check, this is never an issue. It's only the cash payments that involve change. So the round up, round down is if we owed them a penny or 2 pennies, we'd give them nothing. If we owed them 3 or 4 cents, we'd give them a nickel. Kind of washes over time. The other option is the customer's favor, whether it's a penny or 4 cents, they'd always get a nickel back. But it has to do with the change, not the bill. I just wanted to clarify that.
I think I'm in favor of doing a round up, round down. I just realize there's just a lot of businesses going with that policy. I think it's more favorable. So I would opt for the round up, round down instead of just rounding up.
Yeah, that's actually kind of how I was leaning, and just maybe because I'm more familiar with it just from other businesses doing it. And then I also read in here that I guess some other municipalities have adopted that practice or something to that effect. So, but I've seen it in places that, just different stores or whatever, where they do the round up, round down type of thing. Yeah. So I was kind of leaning that way, but I won't be argumentative one way or the other.
Do one of you want to make a motion?
Motion to approve a policy for the return of change to cash paying customers whereby the finance department shall round down when the change due includes 1 or 2 cents and round up when the change due includes 3 or 4 cents.
Support. It was Councilwoman Pashadler got it. She beat me.
She said it first.
She beat me.
All right, any other comments? Please call the roll.
Councilmember Scott?
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick?
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld?
Yes.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley?
Yes.
All right, payroll and bills.
Oh, yeah, we did already. And a man. Yeah, I was out of order with my sheet.
Hang on a minute.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I move that we pay the bills in the amount of $4,196,606.19.
Support.
All right, any questions? Please call the roll.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Councilmember Scott?
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley?
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld?
Yes. And we will go into the second hearing of the public. The second hearing of the public is now open. Would anyone wish to be heard? Anyone wish to be heard?
So in going back to the rabbits, again, I would like a response before this meeting concludes. If I don't get a response, I guess I have no choice but to inform the media that the city is being non-responsive. Because again, the statement was provided to the media that they would be updated, and they have not been updated. This is nothing to overlook. You don't turn a blind eye and a deaf ear to animal neglect. As I mentioned in previous meetings, rabbits cannot get wet. They are extremely fragile animals. It is absolutely appalling anyone keeps them outside. They're not wild rabbits. And what kind of life is that for a domestic rabbit to be kept outside in such horrible conditions? Would any of you want to spend your entire life living outside in a cramped cage or hutch? That's not a life for a rabbit. And I seriously doubt these so-called owners provided any vet care. It takes no time for a rabbit to develop hypothermia or frostbite in getting wet. You cannot play games with a rabbit's life. There have been far too many who have not understood GI stasis, figured, oh, let's see if Bunny feels better in the morning, only to wake up to a dead rabbit. So I sincerely hope I don't have to call the media again, but if I have to, I will. I don't understand what is going on with this city. Please stop saying that you love and care about animals. Okay, if you do, put your money where your mouth is. Stop eating them. Stop wearing their skins, their fur, their feathers. Stop supporting any animal exploitation, and stop allowing the churches to get away with violating our ordinances, our state laws, our federal laws. You had the opportunity. I briefly spoke about the fireworks, how dangerous it is.
You have 30 seconds.
To the animals, to the environment. And you failed the animals again, other than Councilwoman Pashadlik. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Thank you. You are a hero for your dog. This is horrible that you guys care so little about the animals. This is not God's work, trashing the planet and terrorizing animals. It's disgusting. And I just want to leave with one thing real quick. Let me just
very
quickly shift gears. It's in honor of Renee Good. That was an unlawful killing, and it's tragic.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to be heard? All right, seeing none, the second hearing of the public is closed. We'll move into mayor and council reports. I'll start with Councilwoman Scott.
No report.
Councilwoman Pashadlik.
I'd like to thank everybody on the boards and commissions who volunteered and were reappointed and/or appointed today. Thank you for your service to our community. I know it's not always easy to go to all those meetings, but we truly appreciate your help and assistance on those boards and commissions. We couldn't do it without you. And that's all I have today. Thank you.
All right, Councilman Baker.
Thank you. Just, I don't know if everybody knew, but we lost one of our business owners recently. Diane Sager of Clover's Collision passed away. So condolences to her family during this difficult time. To those that knew them, just wanted to kind of let you guys know if you didn't. I did get a chance to speak with her husband, and as of right now, he looks like he's holding up fairly well, but I know it's still a trying time. Beyond that, I have nothing else.
Hey, Councilman Curley?
Well, first of all, thank you, Rob, for bringing that up. She was indeed an incredible person. You know, we, every now and then, more now than then, honor a group, either a person or an organization. And one thing that I'd like to honor tonight, and I'm sure the council and mayor would agree, for all of our employees. We have a lot of employees. I don't know what the number is. It's well over 100. But the work that they do. So I'm making an official thank you for all of us to thank our employees for what the work they do. Some of the employees, a lot of the employees you never see, or we never see. You know, the job they do, I mean, take, for instance, you get in line to go pay your water bill, and when you walk up to that window, you take it for granted that that person's going to take your check or your cash and do everything you do and stamp your receipt, and that's it. Well, that's a job for them, and they had to learn that, and they have to be very careful every time somebody comes up to that window that they get it right. And so, I mean, I could just sit here for hours and go for how many employees we got. So God bless everybody that works for the city. And that includes the administration, by the way, everybody. The other thing that I will say, coming from me, coming from my heart, that God bless all the people who live in Greenland, that they will stay free as they want to, that they won't suddenly have PT boats coming to their shores with machine guns and whatever, and saying that you are now a United States person, and whatever the hell that means. So we got to make sure that doesn't happen. Call your representative, your senators, that they make one way or another that they stop this craziness from a crazy person, that that country will stay free. That's it, Mayor.
Thank you. Also, I did also want to just recognize Diane. She was very active. If you didn't know her name, you would recognize her. She was always at the chamber events, volunteered with the Lions Club, and just kind of was everywhere in the city when you went to things. And of course, worked with Harvey a lot on the Gratiot Cruise since its inception. So my condolences to her family. I'd like to say congratulations to the new officers that were installed for the Odd Fellows. I had the privilege of going to their ceremony over the weekend, had never been to one of those. Very interesting. I think if you ever get the opportunity, it's kind of a formal event, and it wasn't like anything I'd ever seen. So congratulations to the officers who took their new positions on Saturday. I'd like to say yesterday, the MLK breakfast held by the Ministerial Alliance was great. It's always a great event. I enjoyed listening to the keynote speaker, who was very fired up about education, and hearing some essays from students that had written them. I think Jason's not here tonight, our fire chief, but I heard him say after, I think the last one was read, I don't even write that good. And it was I think a freshman in high school, but it was just really nice to hear their words and sort of what MLK means to them and how they see our world going forward. So with that, that's all I have. I will entertain a motion to go into closed session. Oh, yeah, that's fine. I'm just slow rolling the motion to remember what the statute is to go into closed session under 15.2681E.
So moved.
Support.
Please call the roll.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Councilmember Scott?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley?
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld?
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick?
Yes.
All right, we will adjourn into closed session at 8:46. Is it? No, I got it. Got everyone? All right. We are entering back into open session at 9:20 PM. Would anyone like to make a motion? I will move that we follow the recommendation of council regarding the pending litigation.
Support.
And please call the roll.
Sorry, Mayor Kleinfeld?
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley.
Yes.
Councilmember Scott?
No.
Councilmember Baker?
No.
Motion to adjourn?
So move.
Support.
Please call the roll.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley.
Yes.
Mayor Kleinfeld?
Yes.
Councilmember Shadlick?
Yes.
Councilmember Scott?
Yes.
All right, meeting adjourned at 9:21.